Electric vehicles have taken control of the road, and all major automotive manufacturers are answering the call to double down their investment in EV production. But can the charging station infrastructure support this growing demand? And how can we capitalize on these low voltage wire and cable opportunities coming our way? The shift to EV powered vehicles is fueled primarily by the availability of federal spending and the decreasing costs of critical manufacturing components that were previously cost prohibitive. For example, as of 2023, the cost of a lithium-ion battery is now comparable to the upfront costs of an internal combustion engine vehicle. As a result, many manufacturers like Toyota, Ford, Volkswagen, Tesla, GM, Honda, Hyundai, Stellantis, BMW, Nissan, Mitsubishi, and more plan to invest $1.2 trillion in EV production. According to Beyond Market Insights, the size of the global EV market was around $178 billion in 2021 and is predicted to grow to $1.1 trillion this year with a compound annual growth rate of 22.5% through 2030. But EV charging station infrastructure must make major strides to support this growing demand. To incentivize this development, more than $7.5 billion from the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act has already been allocated to develop a national network of EV charging stations across the country. Additionally, the National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Formula Program, also known as NEVI, has been established in the bipartisan infrastructure law to serve as a catalyst for the construction and implementation of a national network of over 500,000 EV charging stations by the end of 2023. According to the NEVI program, each state has to submit proposals for their unique infrastructure. NEVI then opens up federal funds to states based on these approved proposals. This spending can be used in addition to a state's already privately funded EV infrastructure plans, giving unique insight into each state's short and long-term strategies. All U.S. states, Washington, D.C., and Puerto Rico have complete approvals on their submitted NEVI plans. They have been approved to utilize federally funded grant programs as well as state and private investments to springboard their EV initiatives. California, Florida, New York, and Washington are already leading the pack with the number of available charging stations compared to the number of EVs on the road. Timelines across states vary, with California having the most aggressive plan. For example, by 2035, 100% of California in-state sales of new passenger cars and light-duty trucks will be zero emission. They plan to have 250,000 EV charging stations in place by 2025 and 1.2 million light-duty and 150,000 medium or heavy-duty chargers by 2030. California's share of the NEVI program funding is approximately $384 million over the next 5 years, with eligibility to apply for an additional $2.5 billion through the Federal Highway Administration's discretionary charging and fueling grant program. Add in private funding, and California's budget alone is expected to surpass $3 billion on charging stations in the coming years. Add in the other 49 states, and that's a lot of opportunity for us to capture. But without much standardization, design, and specification, how do we accomplish this massive infrastructural change? Well, for federally funded programs, the Biden-Harris administration is starting to set some guidelines. The administration's goal is to deliver a convenient, reliable, and made-in-America EV charging network. And on February 15, 2023, they announced their next steps to electrify the Great American Road Trip. First, they published the National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Standards and Requirements. This document outlines the minimum standards for federally funded EV infrastructure. This will require chargers to have consistent plug types and charging speeds, common payment systems, and accessible pricing information, locations, and availability. The final rule in this overview document establishes charging network connectivity, including charger-to-charger network communication, charging network-to-charging network communication, and charging network-to-grid communication. And finally, chargers must remain functional if communication with the charging network is temporarily disrupted. So what does this really mean? Essentially, the U.S. Department of Transportation is trying to establish a universal standard for charging stations, just like we have for gas stations. These standards will help ensure that chargers operated by different networks will operate similarly and provide a predictable charging experience, no matter what car you drive or what state you charge in. The second big takeaway from this recent announcement is that the administration has finalized the Build America, Buy America implementation plan for EV charging equipment. This plan incentivizes companies to invest in domestic production of high-quality, made-in-America EV charging components. By July 1, 2024, the Federal Highway Administration will not fund projects unless 55% of the total cost of components are made or sourced in the U.S. And finally, they announced that cities, towns, tribes, and states will soon be able to apply for the first round of $2.5 billion in competitive grants to build EV charging stations in communities across the country. So in a nutshell, what are EV infrastructure projects really looking for in a wire and cable partner? The number one DOT requirements will be Buy American compliance. This is essential to meeting the Build America, Buy America guidelines for these federally funded projects. EV charging stations will also require highly reliable power cable, as they must maintain charger functionality even if communication with the charging network is temporarily disrupted. Meaning, even if the power goes out, on-site battery storage and backup power needs to be available to continue to charge electric vehicles just like a gas station. A third consideration will be readily available products. As discussed, these NEVI projects are on the fast track, with many already in the implementation phase. To capture this business, contractors will need suppliers stocked and ready with the wire and cable products they need to meet these tight timelines. But while there are standards for EV charging station design, there isn't much specific to which cable will be needed, and that could vary significantly from project to project. To alleviate these challenges, EV infrastructure projects need an experienced partner who can navigate quick turnarounds and aggressive project schedules while providing reliable wire and cable. You need to look for XLP thermoset insulated conductors that can be installed underground in conduit or directly buried for primary and secondary power distribution. Most importantly, EV charging stations need products that are Buy American compliant. But before we jump into low voltage wire and cable solutions, let's review the types of EV charging station projects we can capture. For this discussion, we are going to focus on level 2 and supercharged commercial stations. Level 1 chargers are those typically found in residential settings. Level 2 chargers operate at 208 to 240 volt, 30 amp, and output anywhere from 3 kilowatt to 19 kilowatt of AC power. That's about 19 to 40 miles of range per hour, and these charge about 4 to 5 times quicker than a level 1 charger. Direct current fast chargers, or DCFC superchargers, are the fastest chargers available with a maximum output of 350 kilowatts. They are designed to fill an EV battery to 80% in just 20 to 40 minutes. Keeping commercial charging stations in mind, let's break down this application. EV charging stations are powered by either renewable energy, fossil fuels, or utilities. Medium voltage cables connect power sources, like the PV panels or on-site battery storage, to substations and transformers. Transformers will then set this down into low voltage. ServiceWire's low voltage cable can then be used to connect the transformer to switchgear to the individual charging stations. ServiceWire's cable is typically buried underground in conduit or concrete, and we offer many direct burial options. For example, you can use Service Pro X, ServicePlex, shielded and non-shielded tray cable, and even jacketed type MC cable as underground power to the individual charging stations. Our bare copper can be used anywhere there is a grounding grid to earth ground, and we also offer PV interconnection wire and 2 kV power supply cable. It should be noted that ServiceWire's products are for static applications only. Our products are not suitable for the flexible charging cable that goes directly into the electric vehicle. As discussed, ServiceWire products can be used in an array of applications at an EV charging station. Our most widely used products are bare copper, Service Pro X single conductors, ServicePlex, tray cable, and jacketed type MC. Let's talk a little bit about each of these products are preferred for this application. ServiceWire's bare copper is available as a bare conductor or as an insulated conductor. We offer 3 forms of bare: solid inflator, stranded, and tinned. Bare copper is essential in the correct operation and grounding of the electrical system, maintaining power and protecting people. System grounding helps detect and clear ground faults, provides a return path for ground fault current, prevents the buildup of static electricity, and more. All of these are key to keeping people and equipment safe on the charging site. ServiceWire Service Pro X single conductors are a mainstay for EV charging stations. They can be installed in conduit, concrete, or directly buried in the ground. We offer thermoset XHHW2, USE2, and RHW2 in 14 gauge through 750 MCM copper. All cables are UL listed 600 to 1000 volt. Our superior line of enhanced surface crosslink insulation does not require pulling lube and requires less pulling and force during installation. Best of all, Service Pro X is available and stocked in a wide range of industry standard colors. In fact, one of our most notable EV projects was won through in-stock black and red 250, 300, and 500 MPM XHHW2 Service Pro X single conductors. Hundreds of miles of our cable was run underground in conduit from the transformer and switchgear into individual charging stations. All Service Pro X single conductors are manufactured with crosslink polyethylene XLPE insulation instead of PVC nylon. Thermoset XLPE insulation is more resistant to chemicals, abrasions, and leakage current, and has a far superior electrical performance characteristics than thermoplastic products like THHN. In this comparison chart, you can see that ServiceWire's XHHW2 has a dielectric constant of less than 3.5, meaning the cable's insulation has a greater ability to resist leakage current. And the cable's insulation resistance is substantially higher than PVC. This means the cable can handle more spikes and inrushes over longer periods of time while protecting critical circuits at risk of electrical interference from high leakage currents. When it comes to EV charging station, the cable must be installed underground. This is a perfect fit for our Service Pro X thermoset conductors because the XLPE compound has almost 5 times the crush resistance compared to thermoplastic THHN. Plus, XHHW2 is also moisture resistant. For retrofit jobs or projects with a longer lead time, we recommend our custom-made ServicePlex twisted cable. ServicePlex is an assembly of quality ServiceWire single conductors twisted together to create a uniform construction, effectively functioning as a prefab wire pull. This easy-to-install multi-conductor cable is a great solution for longer pulls. What may have required 4 individual reels before could easily be replaced with a single reel of ServicePlex. This prefab cable reduces the time it takes to execute a pull, allows you to pull the wire even faster, and requires fewer reels on the job site. Contractors who use ServicePlex report 50 to 70% combined material and labor savings. Plus, ServiceWire will cover the twist loss on our end, so you don't have to modify your order for this value-added service. ServicePlex is easily installed in conduit, concrete, or directly burial, just like our single conductors, and it is available in all industry standard colors, 14 gauge to 750 MCM and XHHW2, USE2, or RHW2. ServiceWire offers shorter than industry lead times for Plex in colors or black, and we can even cut ServicePlex length by specific pulls or install pulling heads upon request. There are tons of options for this unique product. In addition to multi-conductor ServicePlex, ServiceWire's tray cable can also be used for EV charging stations. We were one of the first manufacturers to offer UL 1277 approved 600 volt to 1000 volt dual rated tray cable. Dual rated tray cable is a more robust product. It is a cost-effective alternative for applications that require lower voltage cable but are at risk for potential voltage spikes. For example, 1 kV rated tray cable can withstand greater electrical adversity, have a lesser impact during disruptive event, and the recovery time is faster than a less resilient system. Additionally, dual rated tray cable has a smaller outside diameter than traditional 1 kV tray cables, making it preferable in space-constrained installations. For EV projects, you could also use shielded tray cable. Shielding can be applied helically or longitudinally over the cable during the cabling process. Helically applied metallic tape shielding is wrapped around the cable core with a specified overlap to provide 100% coverage. It helps minimize interference from outside disturbances and keeps inside electrical noise from polluting the environment. Longitudinal copper tape shielding is typically applied down the length of the cable with a corrugated metallic tape to provide both flexibility and added physical protection. Helically applied shielding is common for industrial applications, while utility substations more commonly prefer a longitudinally corrugated shield. Service wire's tray cable can be installed in conduit or directly buried at an EV charging site, and it is available in 14 gauge through 750 MCM, 2 through 37 conductors in all industry standard colors, with an overall PVC, CPE, or low smoke zero halogen jacket. Now let's say you need another layer of mechanical protection on your cable. That's where jacketed MC or Type MC armored cable comes in. Jacketed armor cable offers all the protection of conduit without the added cost. The aluminum or galvanized steel interlocked armor is helically wound around the conductors. This gives the cable more flexibility, unlike conduit or even CCW, allowing for bends without damaging inner conductors. This makes the cable easy to install in complex closed-space bends. It is suitable for wet and outdoor applications or direct burial underground or in concrete. With such built-in durability, jacketed MC is a great fit for EG charging stations. Service wire can manufacture to your exact specification, including oversized grounds. This cable is available 14 gauge through 750 MCM, 2 to 37 conductors in XHHW2, and 6 gauge through 750 MCM, 3 or 4 conductors in RHW2. Inner conductors are insulated with thermoset insulation and available in 120 volt and 480 volt color codes, numbered or striped for easy phase identification. Now that you have an understanding of the applicable products, let's review what you need to know when bidding on an EV charging station project. Here's a list of questions you should ask when looking to write a wire and cable order. Number 1, are we spec'd? Projects are driven by their engineering specifications. If our product isn't on spec, we will need to work with the approving authorities. This really comes down to timing. The sooner you hear of a project, the easier it is for us to get on spec. We have a team of experts available to review your specification documents or help you specify service wire products. And this value-added service is available for free at all of our locations. If you have the specification documents for a project, send them our way, and this will ensure we provide the right cable. Also, keep in mind that the spec may be global or local. If we are on a global spec, we can often get on a job even if we aren't on the local spec. 2, what is the project timing? Once you know the spec, we also like to know the project timing. This will help us get you the best lead times possible, whether we can sell from stock or manufacture per the project requirements. Gathering this information is critical. If you wait too long to order, we may not be able to deliver your per the request. Similarly, we need to know the desired delivery date. We can easily ship to the job site on the distributor's behalf. And Service Wire can take an order, hold it, ship it on release, or offer adjusted time delivery. 3, is the material purchased at the corporate or local level? Some end users will do the buying at the corporate level, while others will deal the purchasing out to subcontractors. Again, this could be for the whole job or by process unit. We need to be certain in order to quote product that ensures a win. In most instances, the corporate level does the bigger buys, but always ask follow-up questions as to whether or not they allow the contractors to buy locally on smaller projects. If you aren't able to secure the initial larger bid, don't give up. You always land smaller orders with Service Wire thanks to our low minimums. So, if you're looking for a wire and cable partner for EV projects, turn to Service Wire. We are the experts in XLP-E thermoset low voltage cable for EV charging stations. We can supply power cable from coast to coast with our 3 nationwide facilities in Arizona, Texas, and West Virginia. Our high service level and on-hand stock allows you to ship quicker than the competition and fast-track your NEVI, DOT, and privately funded EV projects. We can cut to length, offer master reels, provide custom packaging to minimize shipping damage, and ship direct to the job site. In fact, we have a damage-free delivery rate 5 times better than the industry average. Plus, every order leaving our facility is quality tested before shipment, ensuring you receive only the best products from Service Wire. And when you partner with us, you can rest assured we are Buy American compliant. Our broad range of wire and cable products are entirely produced within the USA, meeting the Build America, Buy America requirements. Contact your rep to learn more about our EV charging station cable products today.